meditation paradise. We have the wonderful Tarun Pradhaan again. Welcome, Tarun.
Thank you very much, and it is my pleasure to be here again.
All right, let's start straight in with the questions. How can I stay more in the now?
Realize that you are always in the now. It is not possible to be in not now. I mean, how can it be possible? Can you stay in the past? You can have memories of the past. You can have memories of the past, but when you become aware that these are only memories, it is happening in present. It is happening in now. And you can plan for the future. You can make, you can daydream and things like that, or you can worry. But it is also in now. So
Yes.
just realize that you are always in now. Your real essence is timeless. It cannot go outside the now, actually. Even if you try, you cannot be outside the now. So all we need to do is cultivate this awareness that I am always in the now, and you will be in the now.
If you're being distracted, it's like you're watching a monkey in a zoo and you've injected him with some weird drug and he's just like that. And so, from that point of view, what would you do as a zookeeper if you wanted to keep a monkey nice and present in the now? Probably change up his diet, and if in the case you were giving him drugs, you'd stop the drugs, obviously, and you'd give him a nice surroundings and nice mates. Actually, what I would follow is the stages of spiral dynamics for this ape to keep him nice and happy. So the first one, I'd keep his survival needs, blah blah blah. Let's get him mates and then food, and then once he's happy with that stage, let's build him a nice shelter, until we get stage turquoise. And you can find a video of all the stages on my channel. Focus on where you are, or discover where you are on the spiral dynamics chart. That will give you loads of answers to what you need to do to make your ape nice and focused. So then your zoo can grow, and it can be a very happy zoo.
Yeah.
The Earth is God's zoo, God's little menagerie. I'm sure he has many others floating around the universe. And who is God but us, essentially? So we're all sharing.
It is our own making. It is our own creation. That's why we can change it.
Oh, God. It brings me back to earlier. There is no one else but I. I stands for infinity to me. And so
That's good.
I'm trying to help you with all this stuff, the viewer. There's no one else. It's just, but then I feel insane. Have you ever felt insane, Tarun, through this knowledge?
It is insane, actually. Given the amount of ignorance we had, the knowledge looks like insanity. Yes.
Yeah.
It is a totally different way to be. And so from the point of view of ignorance, it is insanity.
Okay. All right. Why can I see the future in my dreams?
Well, If you can see the future in your dream, that means it's not a dream really. You're venturing into a part of the universal mind where there is no time, which is very closer to reality. And you can sometimes get a glimpse of some events, and sometimes they happen. So first of all, it may not be a dream. It can be a change of state of the mind where you're becoming aware of a part of the universal mind where things have already happened, which is the truth actually. Things have already happened. We are scanning through those events using our minds. Sometimes it is possible to break from this pattern and access the memory of the universal mind directly, which is also called the Akashic record. And sometimes it is all of the future, sometimes it is of the past. So it is an indication that you are a seeker. There are some past impressions there of seeking. Otherwise, it is not possible. Otherwise, it's not possible for an ordinary person to have that kind of experience. So you are gifted then if you can see the future in your dreams. You are a gifted seeker, and the message is very clear here. I do not try to find out why I see these things. Try to find out what it means. What should I do now? And start seeking. This is the message. The universe is sending you a clue that look, you are in the rut, you are in the material life now, you're stuck there. Now get out of there and start seeking, start progressing, continue your journey. This is the message. All events, all these extraordinary events, they have a message behind them. They are not for our entertainment. So take the message then. Implement the message, you see. Implement the teaching that is being pointed at.
Yes, you could help this person could help with something. They might have an insight. How imagine a Steve Jobs kind of person who can see into the future in his dreams. He might have a great insight about how to steer the evolution of technology to where we don't all perish. It wouldn't matter anyway. It wouldn't matter anyway. But might as well see what's going to happen to humanity. It is okay that after realized there is no interest in your personal life. It is okay.
No interest in personal life. We never have a personal life, actually. We never had a personal life. The person is an illusion. How can it have a life? The life is living the person. The person is not living a life. That sounds like a good quote, isn't it?
Tarun, Pradhaan.
Yes, life is living the person. Person is not living the life. So as soon as you realize you are not a person, then the life is gone, you see. It's gone, disappears. The personal life is gone. You cannot even talk about taking an interest. If it is not there, what are you going to take interest in? It does not exist. So it is very natural. Now the life is as it is before you. It is not being covered by the impurity of the person or the ego or identity or the lower self, whatever you want to call it, you see, separate self. It is no more clouded by that. Now take interest in this life. It is more interesting, isn't it? It's like the whole of it is living through me. The wholeness is living through you, this instrument. Now that is more interesting than the tiny creature you see, like you call it a monkey. Like it is even worse. It's like a rat. rat holed up in a hole and trying to hoard things and afraid of going out of the hole. And it's very, very bad. The personal life is kind of a nightmare. So it is very good. You're not interested in, in that life at all. So you have climbed a few stages there in evolution already.
Life can be lived as if our eyes equates to the lens of a microscope or a telescope. How interesting it is to see all of the life going on in a droplet of water and
Yes,
planets and so this ordinary experience that I have here, I have my street, I have a laptop, I have this I'm very much used to. It's as if on actualize.org, Leo Gura has a video where he equates what I'm saying here, our eyes, our bodies, it's like a colonoscopy. And we are the lens inside the body of, God, whatever you want to call it. So,
yes. Actually, I call it tentacles. Not only a single fiber, there are many fibers that are projected into the body of the god. And these tiny lenses, the light sources, they are sending the information back to the god. We are the sensors, actually.
yeah. And each, surely, because there are many organisms with senses,
Yes.
trillions and trillions and trillions.
Infinite.
Yeah.
It continues happening.
And I mean, even this wooden box, I mean, since nothing is not alive, this wooden box is made of organisms. Yeah. So, but my question is, do microorganisms sense things?
Oh, yes, they do. Yeah.
And this
Without
can be,
thinking, there's no life, isn't it?
yes, I shall overlay a video of microorganisms sensing things. Now, in this video, we can see how it has sensed food, and it has gone into the direction of the food to consume it. Now, how come it didn't miss? Because it sensed the food.
They do it without a brain. They do it without a nervous system. They will show all the tendencies of a human being, like fear, like a poke a microorganism, like put a
Yes.
drop of chemical, it runs away. It does not want to stay there. It shows all the tendencies that creatures with big brains show. You know, parameciums. The parameciums, they have a mating dance actually, just like the higher animals. Just like we do a mating dance before a female, they do it, and they don't have brain. They don't have a nervous system. How
What
can they do it?
What is a paramecium?
It's a microbe. It is found in water, like amoeba, paramecium, and they have all these tendencies of the organisms that we think only found in creatures with brains.
Yes.
But look at the life. 90% of the life is without a brain. Have you seen? Have you ever paid attention
Yes.
to this? Look at the plants. Do they have brains? Do they have their nervous system? They have some senses, yes. Sensory equivalent is there, but no brain. But can we call them like lifeless and unconscious things? Most of the life is without brains.
Life is self-similar on the micro and macro levels, And then the second thing is microbes have a nucleus, which is basically like our nucleus is our brain. So, but then if we zoom into the nucleus, it's probably made of life, right? Different kinds of... I have no idea.
Yes, they have. I'm not saying that they do not have any kind of senses there. They have different kind of senses. You can say it. And as soon as I say senses, that means there must be one who is sensing. The output of the senses must be producing a subject to experience. Now it will be very tiny, whiny experience, like it amounts to nothing at all. But still, they are life. They are conscious life. We have a sensory apparatus that is evolved, you see. So we have more sensing going on. We are more aware and more conscious. That's all. The awareness, I mean, the differences of degree, not of the quality. Even an ant feels pain. Even an ant is competing with other ants. There is no difference between an ant and a human, actually. Fundamentally, the difference is of the degree, not of the quality. Everything is alive here. Everything is alive.
Okay, so that in itself is a reason to not fear death, which is a reason for everyone to be happy, regardless of what happens to some random human, right?
There is no death. There is no need to fear it. What are you going to fear when there is nobody? There is nobody to fear.
How do I channel my spirit guides? My answer to this would be just to imagine them, because that's all they'll be anyway, you know. So, yeah, if you want to talk to Jesus, just imagine him talking to you. What do you say, Tarun?
And that is a very good idea, actually. That is a very good trick. So initially, it will look like an imagination that you are talking to yourself. But you see, mind is a very mysterious thing. It does not know the difference between imagination and reality. Because imagination is reality and reality is imagination. There is no difference really. So it will establish a contact with the mind of the guide if you simply start doing it. Start doing it, and suddenly you will find one day that the thoughts are so different from your own thoughts that you couldn't have made it up. You are getting new information, you're getting new knowledge, and do not contact the guides with like unnecessary stuff. Try to
Yes.
keep the discussion at a spiritual level. Like they are not really interested in what shirt you want to wear or what job you want to take and all. They are not really interested in that kind of stuff. Higher beings, you see.
Like when you say that, to your point, the person who is asking isn't really interested in whether they should drop their job. I think what they're really interested in is connecting with the higher self, and evolving spiritually.
Yes, but the higher self is completely different thing compared to the spirit guide. The spirit guide is a totally different mind. It is a higher self is simply, in my point of view, from my point of view, my opinion is that higher self is simply the higher layers of the mind, which is also called the causal body. So there is a lot of wisdom in the causal body, but it is not as great as that of a spirit guide. Otherwise, we won't need any guidance. Otherwise, why do we need a guidance? There is a lot of wisdom, stored wisdom in causal body, which you call your higher self. But we need a teacher a spirit guide. If you cannot find a living guide, you go to the spirit guide, and that guide is not really interested in that stuff that belongs to the causal body, the opinions, the likes, dislikes, the jobs, and all these things. No, they are not interested. Like you said, the turquoise level and all those things, they are interested in that. They will help you if you have this potential to spread awareness or things like that. So try to keep your imagination at that level, and you will be definitely connected to the spirit guide. Actually, I do not use this word. I use another word which I call the guru field. We
Okay.
are in the guru field. We are in the guru field right now. It is not a single mind. Your spirit guide is not a single mind. It is a group mind. Actually, there is no such thing as a single mind because no individuals there. It always is a group mind. Your spirit guide is not an individual, it will be a group mind. So I call this field of minds as the guru field. That is my experience, based on my experience. Even this mind, which I call as my mind, is not an individual mind. It is a group mind. You can see it. There
Yes.
is the low tendencies, the action reaction. There is the ego. There is the emotional self, which emotes. There is the higher intellectual self. There is the causal body, and many, many things in between. It is not a single mind. It is a group mind. It is a collection of very many, many minds. Even this one, which I called as me, it's not really me. There is no such thing as individuality in this universe, in this reality. So this is what I call the guru field. And how to contact the guru field? Your tendencies need to match that of the tendencies of the higher beings in the guru field, and the contact is already there. The contact is already there. They are not listening, and you are not listening. And that is because of the choice that we have made. We have made a choice to not listen and conduct our lives like as an individual. When you choose to listen, you will start listening. You will get in contact with the guru field. And we should not have that kind of expectation that it will be magical. Like, who knows, it can be magical, but it is not always like a voice from the blue, like, look, you need to do these things. You need to turn left now. Otherwise, you will die. No, it is not like this. That is not spirit guide. That can be another spirit or entity thing. But the communication from the spirit guide is always, it always looks like your own thought. But you know, I cannot think like this. My personality does not think like this. But it will look like your own thought. It is very, very tiny, small voice in your head. So that is my like wild view about the whole spirit guide issue.
Yeah, because it's a quite a thorny topic. Because I don't think that most people like agree on what they're talking about. Because we use the same words, but the meanings, like, I don't know if it's just a bit muddy.
It is very, very misunderstood topic actually. Like, people, I see people asking, do I have a spirit guide? No, nobody has a spirit guide. You are the spirit. So you are already in connection with all the spirit, you see. So guide is the one mind which is interested in evolution of everybody. He is not kind of a worker who works for you. He is not kind of assigned to you like an officer. Like, go and no, it is not possible. Everybody can get one, and then you cultivate a relation. Then you can call it as my spirit guide. It's not yours. There is no kind of relation there. It is, the relation is of oneness only. And the spirit guide is interested in only your evolution. If it involves inflicting pain, then they will do that. So
Even
be
death.
careful. Yeah. Be careful what you ask for because you can get it.
Yeah. I've been shown, I've shown myself that if I were to do exactly what I wanted, I'd be dead right now. So it's all cool. It's all cool. The starseed theory. Is it true? What is the starseed theory?
Uh, Honestly, I don't have any idea what they call a star seed because mostly comes from the new age kind of spirituality.
Yeah.
Traditionally, everybody is a star seed. What are you now? You are nothing but combination of the matter from the stars.
Yeah.
Now, the spiritual meaning is that you have a light in you. I mean, I'm just guessing that you are born with the light on. You're not born like other people. And
Uh,
then you are not conditioned by the society. You do not turn your light off because of the society. And you spread that light. You become a seed of knowledge in this dark world. So that is my impression of this word, star seed.
yeah.
Probably I'm wrong, but I, I do not really know what these people are after. So who is the star seed? Everybody is in some. Everybody has this potential in some way. Now cultivate the potential, and you will become a star seed. That's all is required. You see, we already are that. So another view is that they are just seekers who were seekers in the past lives, and they are now taking a rebirth here to continue the seeking. But as you grow, you will find that your light will start spreading out of your own boundaries. That is one consequence of spiritual evolution, that it cannot be contained in just one person. It spreads, likes to spread. Knowledge likes to spread. So they become the star seed, you see. They are just past life tendencies of seeking that reappear. That's what it is.
Yeah. I think there's also a lot of between people who are sort of unbalanced emotionally to assign themselves as indigo child and things like that to make them feel special. Ego thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
no problem. If you have declared yourself as the indigo child, now start acting like an indigo child also, you see.
Yes. It's Kurt Cobain's birthday today. Do you know who Kurt Cobain is?
No, I don't know.
Oh, oh,
What is the, probably I
he
heard this.
he is a musician, or he was.
Okay. Well, I have no idea.
Oh,
Sometimes I hear the name, sometimes I hear the music also, but then I quickly forget who or what was the name of that person.
his band was called Nirvana. It's quite interesting.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
know that band. Yeah, I know the Nirvana band.
Whoa. What do you know about it?
And there are some songs that I heard from that band. That's all.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know details, obviously. Like Jenny Got a Gun. Is that the song from Nirvana band? Jenny Got a Gun.
No. No.
That's probably different one.
Yeah. But yeah, he was pretty. He was. You could tell he was quite enlightened, or something. He was very conscious, I think. but he did get into drugs and he killed himself apparently. I would like you to check him out, like see his behavior. Yeah, really interesting. It's as if he didn't have an ego since he was born. I don't know.
Yeah, there are extraordinary people like that who start showing their extraordinary abilities since birth, and we call them like insane, or we want to treat them instead of accepting.
Yeah, I think it got too much for him, the social, but yeah, and the fame. His creativity was extreme. He could really turn an emotion into a song. But yeah.
Yes, world is full of such extraordinary people actually.
Yes.
I do not see it as a miracle or like uncommon phenomena. It is very common, very common.
One of the things I want to do is help people to become more creative. I think most of it is down to self-esteem. I think all of it pretty much is down to self-esteem, because like what kid doesn't make loads of stuff with Lego? But then how many other kids cease making stuff with Lego because Johnny said that's crap? And people of influence.
We are discouraged by most of the people. There is not really that much encouragement to explore, and that kills the creativity. So, because we were treated like this, like when we say we, I mean the whole, most of the society, they were treated like this. They were treated with rejection. They were discouraged. They were like forced into some kind of robotic individual, and that kills the personality actually. That kills the creativity. So those people who were treated like this, they treat others like this because we are monkeys eventually.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, we copy that behavior. Whatever impressions are on our mind, if there is no awareness, we simply execute that program. So to break out of this cycle, you see, you become a seeker, become a spiritual person, cultivate your awareness, and you will see the patterns that were forced onto you by society. No, you cannot sing. No, you cannot cook. No, you should not do this. No, you should not design the clothes. This is for girls. Why are you doing this? And you will see all that crap that was stuffed into your mind by the society, including your parents and brothers and sisters and friends. And then now you can reject that. Now you have become aware of your own conditioning, so you can cut it off. You can do a surgery in your mind, cut it off, and then do what pleases you most. That will bring out the creativity in you.
Yeah.
I keep doing this. Every year I try something new. It is kind of an open secret. People say, "Oh, you were doing this thing last year. Now you're doing something else." I say, "Yes. Why not?"
Hell
What will
yeah.
happen? Maximum, what will happen? I'll fail. Like it will be fun.
Yeah.
Because it is a fun thing to fail. It's not a big deal. Why should I not try it? Because of this fear that I may fail. And this failure is not a big bad thing, isn't it?
That pisses me off, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It should not become a reason for ridicule, or you failed, so what? Try something else. So I try different things. Sometimes I'll take up 2 new things per year.
What was last year? What did you try last year?
Yeah, last year I opened this YouTube channel, started
Wow.
making videos. Before that, I wrote the books. Even before that, I wrote the blogs. And you see, podcasts and the satsangs, the online meetings, and like I do all the creative work for my videos. I'll do all the audio editing. Even the singing part is done by me. You see.
Wow, dude.
It is not that cutting edge. You cannot call it like totally groundbreaking artistic thing, but I keep doing it.
That's
And I
cool,
keep
man.
doing-
That's
so I'll
inspiring.
show you what I'm doing this year. I'll show you that.
Show me, man. Whoa.
It is done
Wow.
by, it is done by these things, you see. So
Wow,
this
man.
this
Yeah.
bundle of papers and pencils always on my table. And whenever I listen to things, I simply start drawing.
Yeah. Dude, that's cool. That's
I
really
used to
cool.
do this when I was child and then gave up. I did not draw for many, many years. And then I took up when I just got into a job because there was a lot of free time there. And then I gave it up because job, and then I'm taking it up again actually. So always pick up something new
Yeah.
every year that will enhance your creativity. You will fail for many things. Who
Mm,
cares? Who
exactly.
cares?
Yes. My challenge for the viewers is this year you have to take up trampolining. All right. There we go. What do you think about taking up things that are completely like? Do you think people should take up things that are completely new? Like, because I think they should. I think people should, you know, take up like I don't know.
The more crazy it is, the better it is. This is the formula.
Yes, butterfly catching. Like,
Yeah, if you do something which is similar to what you are doing, it's okay, it's fine. It's not going to grow, it's not going to help you grow. The more different stuff that you take up, that is, kind
dude,
of
yeah, stagnation
more.
is the killer. Don't stagnate, especially in this opportunistic world. All this opportunity, all this safety, all this creativity. Crazy.
Yeah. If you have solved your survival, like you do not need to worry too much about the survival, then go crazy. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Look at Elon Musk. Have you seen him?
Mm,
He is a
yes.
crazy man, isn't he? He's like boring through the tunnels. He's
Mm,
sending people to Mars, and he's not actually affected by any failure. Like just last 2 weeks ago, he blew up the whole rocket. Like,
yeah.
not an inch of deviation in on his face.
Yes.
He was not affected at all. See, you can call him crazy, but we want such crazy people in this world,
That's
actually.
right. I'm sorting out my financial situation so that I can do exactly that. And yes, I that's what I want other people in my situation to do. Get your financials right. We weren't taught in school. That's annoying, and I've spent many a minute being pissed off at that. And it's okay because we can build the new culture together, however we want it to be.
Yes, make it as big as you can and stop listening to the like losers.
Yeah, boy.
Losers are going to tell you you cannot do it. Just stop listening to them. If they are not doing it, then that means there's some problem there, not here, not here.
Yeah, yes, yes. I remember I realized that for the first time. I really internalized it, and it's led to me getting my first girlfriend. because I was that attractive. I didn't give a flying fudge, you know. But then the rest of the story is I went to a new city to pursue a music career. I was smoking marijuana all the time, but addicted to that. I was masturbating all the time, addicted to that. I had no energy. And basically, it all just ground to a halt, and I had to. And basically, it's coming back from that, really. So here we are.
If you do not choose creativity, if you do not choose progress, the mind will start spiraling down. It is also not correct.
And it will all
There
look
is no foundation, you see.
It will look calm to everyone else, won't it? Because as I look and I see other people who are not really creating, they want everyone to they want to project that everything's okay. But really, everyone wants to express, right? There are many mediums to do that. Create a song, create a writing, help somebody go through something,
Yeah, I agree, 100%, 100%. I agree with you. Express is the key word. Start expressing. We are here to express only. It is our play, isn't it? We are not here to suffer the play. We are here to play, enjoy the play. That is done by expressing what we are. Otherwise, what is the use of this life?
Elon Musk must feel like it is his world.
Yeah.
And this is for you, everyone. But yeah.
It's my playground, you see. It's my playground. Now start playing.
Yes. But yeah, what I was going to say, if the survival, if that's all you can focus on, I would say to everyone, get that handled, because otherwise, I mean, really, we can be creative even if it's not handled, but yeah. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci and Kurt Cobain, they were very much creative, and I'm pretty sure they both started off very poor, and they actually got rich from their creations only. And yeah.
When you run after money, all you get is money. But when you run after creativity, you get satisfaction, life plus money. It is all in one. Run after the right thing. I see people running after money. But money is a byproduct of your life. It is not the goal of your life. The goal of your life is creativity.
Yeah, okay. Very, very excited to build up people like you, a community of inspiring people, very much excited.
What is the biggest secret of like rising and motivating yourself, inspiring yourself? The biggest secret is inspire others.
Yeah.
Motivate others, and then you don't need motivating after that. You don't need a guru to hold your hands. Now do this, do that. No. Start inspiring others. That will push you on a very super highway kind of lifestyle. I'm always busy, you see, always busy. And it is not like busy. It is, I'm always doing something, on to something. There is always a project going on. It is like a play. It is not like a tension thing, like I need to finish this. No, it's not like this. So from where is this motivation coming? Because I keep inspiring others. That whenever I get a chance, I encourage others.
Yeah.
So don't be that person who always discourages others. Don't be that. And then this energy will flow in you. You encouraged others, the encouraging energy will start manifesting in you also. You don't need encouragement from others. You become the source, you see. Don't become the sink.
I also heard today that to make friends, you have to be a friend, you know?
Obviously.
Be a friend, man. Anyone who's lonely, be a friend, you know? Like,
Yeah, you see, I get this a lot. I'm lonely. I have everything, but I do not have friends. I do not have partner or anything. So I say, have you ever tried to talk to anybody? Have you ever tried to make friends? Or you are just sitting here waiting that somebody will come and, what do you have to
yeah,
for gather that kind of a crowd of friends? And and the only way out of loneliness is to make somebody give somebody else your company. You see,
yes,
you will get the drift. It is always this one. This one needs to change, not others. The source of all the problem is this one. Yes. So change yourself. If you are lonely, become a company for somebody. If you are not creative, uh, inspire others, and so on. And if you don't know things, teach others. And the teaching will force you to know. Oh, I said
yeah,
something stupid, and now I need to research it. And you see, like this. So I encourage people to write the blogs. You see, somebody told me, "Oh, nobody's going to read my blog. It is very poor." I said, "It's not for somebody. It is for you. You are going to read it, and you will uh, uh, kick yourself for writing stupid things there, and you will start correcting them, and that will make you progress. That will make you a good writer, or that will make you into a good researcher, because now you need to research everything before writing. So that is for your progress. And yes, if the content is good enough, you will find that a lot of people will start reading it. So,
yeah, dude. Yeah,
always do it yourself first.
maybe it would be a good idea to categorize these questions into like 10 categories, where it's like, because there are many which is like how to stay in the now as the self. Actually, I've got a great idea. I've had this in my mind for a while. It goes like, how does your question start off? There's a selection of what is, how to, where is, or whatever. Then when they click on that, it takes them, and then it's like you have all the what's. What is a starseed? What is blah blah blah. Yeah, I think you'd be able to do that, easy peasy.
It's very good idea. Very good idea.
Yeah,
Instead of the random 500 questions scattered in the book, we can categorize it. It's a good idea.
yeah, dude. Oh
Actually, I
man,
was hoping that somebody else will do it.
how did you learn how to code?
I learned it in my college. I have an engineering background, so there was a subject there. Programming was a subject.
Okay,
So I learned
what?
it there. Then that was kind of very basic. So when I bought my first computer, I started coding. The first thing that I knew in about computer was coding. So I
Wow.
started writing programs, and then they were for just for killing time or just for fun, you see. But then I started writing useful programs also, and then now because the path became spiritual, now the programs are also uh, getting that kind of uh,
Yes.
direction. If it is for good of all, I write it, I make it, and I distribute it for free and give it away.
Yeah. What language did you use? Programming language.
Yes, my the native language is C and C++. That is my kind of, you get mother tongue.
Yes.
C and C++. But then I use any language that is a requirement for the application. Like the web page that you were reading from, the questions, it is made totally in PHP. Now, PHP is a different language, but it has the same syntax. It has the same basic principles. Now, the Android programs are written in Java. It is like very much like C++, slightly different. So once you know the basics of programming, like once you know the C or C++, you can know each and every language there is, because they are the mother languages from where all the languages come from. It is like if you learn Sanskrit, you will know all the Indian languages, because Sanskrit is the mother language from all ever. So something like this. I learned the basics, and then from there, like diverged into different kind of applications. So most satisfying for me was to write programs for graphical applications, like for artists. I wrote programs for artists for creating things in 3ds Max or Blender, for example. And I've given it away, and I actually made some commercial programs also. So I sometimes I earn a little bit of money out of this skill, but not much.
So you're still spiritual then, because you've earned not much money. Ha ha ha. All right.
The major, the main motivation or main goal of writing the program is to develop a sharp mind, very rational and logical mind. Because if you work with computers and programmings, you will need a very, very logical kind of rational mind there. You cannot simply say, okay, I need to do this and now I do this. You will need to find out a way to do this. You will need to design an algorithm, for example. You will need to debug the code, and you will need to learn that machine, like ins and outs of what is a microprocessor and how it does things and all. So it develops your mind actually. It is helpful for those who are on the path of knowledge to get a skill that involves logical thinking. It will help you very much. So I did not start programming by by knowing these things. It happened, and then now I know the significance of all the events that happen in my life. They all happened so that I could become this thing which I am right now.
Whoa.
Everything happens for a reason, and that reason is always good, you see.
Yeah, it's just also learning code post 2020, very much needed or very much valuable skill. I recommend everyone dive into it. It is seemingly a rather dramatic world and very complex, so quite threatening to me.
Yes, and it is not really difficult. Start following the tutorials on YouTube. Pick a very basic language like C. Do not go for something which gives you pre-cooked stuff, because C is very basic, you see, and you'll pick up. It will be very, very fast progress. So it is not difficult at all. And then you will become kind of self-reliant in this field. Like if you want to set up a website, you can do it yourself. You can set up a podcast, you do it yourself. You know everything, and then creativity will flow out of you.
Another thing for people to try as a new hobby, a new activity.
Yes.
We've got another one about how to connect with the guides. So that's how to, and then connect with spiritual guides, and you could block them all together, synonyms.
How to connect to the spiritual guides, and the connection is already there. You need to simply enable it from your side. Start listening. And I'll go ahead and I'll also say that pray.
Pray.
Do not simply think. I've seen that there is a power in our voice, power in our what we say. You see, your spirit guide is not listening to you all the time. It is kind of difficult for even them to keep track of who is thinking what. So you sometimes you need to say it aloud, say it using your voice. It has power. If you are genuinely seeking, then your voice will be heard. Now, it is not that what we are saying will be heard. No, it is not possible, isn't it? Because you need a human body to hear the human voice. You need an ear. What is happening is whatever we are saying, speaking, is coming from a different layer of the mind. Thinking comes from a different layer of the mind. So we have, let us say, 10 thoughts, but we speak only one. That means we give importance to that one thought, isn't it? So spirit guide has a way to now catch what you really want to say. Instead of scanning through all the millions of thoughts and impressions and desires, nobody has got time to do that, you see. So as soon as you say it, you put your wish before the universe will listen. Try that. It is called praying, but you're not praying to something or somebody especially. You are praying to everything there is. So in the prayer should not be like this, give me that. It should not be like begging. Prayer is not like begging. Prayer is always should start with a thank you. Thank you for whatever has happened so far. Thank you for whatever you have given. Now I want to do something. I'm on to something great here. I want to change the world or something like this, you see. Now help me. You see, it should be like this. It should be like this. Let me become useful for the universe. And now you will find that there will be crowd of spirit guides around you. Once you put your intention seriously like this, you say, do not think it is think of it as like a joke or experiment. You can experiment if you want, but you need to have the will. You need to have a genuine will to change yourself, to change others for better. And then there is no reason that you will not get connected to the proper spirit guide. There is no reason. It is almost guaranteed that the help will arrive there. The problem is people want the petty things. I want a puppy. I want a horse. Give me it. Give it to me. Where is my spirit guide? Why are they not fixing my neighbors? Nothing will happen, you see. Nothing will happen if you do something like this.
What examples are there of a non-petty thing?
Non-petty, if it is for the greater good, if it is for your own spiritual evolution, if it is for freeing yourself from suffering or freeing others from suffering, you see, like the bodhisattva mandate, or imagine what a spirit guide must be having in their to-do list. Imagine a to-do list that your spirit guide has. It is not providing you with ice cream or providing you with a big house or a fast car. That is not in their to-do list. So they won't pay attention to what you are begging out there. So even if you think that the Ferrari is not a petty thing for you, it is a petty thing for the spirit guide. So look at the to-do list of the spirit guide. They have something awesome in their to-do list. And then you say, okay, I want to join you. I want to be helpful in your endeavor, in your adventure. You're trying to do something here. You're trying to cause some things in the physical world. Let me become your instrument. And you will find help there. That is all. Rise above the petty monkeyness of the humanity. You will get the help.
How to look at the to-do list?
Oh, yeah, that is a good question, isn't it? If you are not already in contact with the spirit guide, you cannot know their to-do list, you see. So the first question should be, okay, I want to do something in the field that you are in. You see, how can I be useful for the world? How can I be useful for my own spiritual progress? What is stopping me? And you start from here. Then once you build up a relation with the spirit guide, you will know what is their function, what are they trying to cause here, what kind of people they like to help, and then you will come to know their agenda. Then you can choose that, okay, I agree with what you want to do. I want to join you in this adventure. And then you will find that it's not only help, you will get things done very, very quickly. Things will be arranged for you. Your life will become magical once you are in the flow, once you are aligned with the will of the whole. You see, then things will be arranged for you.
Okay. I'll have to try that out. I'll try it out. This person asks, when will I become successful within my career field? Well, I don't know.
No, that is not a good question. When is illusion? There is no when. You should ask, like, what do I need to do to become successful?
Yeah. And then the answer to when would be, after you know that question, is...
Yeah. The when depends on you. It does not depend on other things.
Am I a great mom? What?
Yeah. I remember that question. Am I a great mom? You don't need to become a great mom. You see, just become the ordinary mom, ordinary mother. And that is the greatest thing that you can do. If you try to become great mom, you will start using your own intelligence to bring up the child. That is no. Should not be done. That should not be done.
Yeah. Interesting, because one would assume that we shouldn't ask a stranger that because we don't know, but whatever. I think your answer was good though, because you said, if you have fulfilled your responsibility as a parent, it is good enough.
Good enough. You don't need to become great parent. Become good parent. That is enough.
It's just a self-esteem thing, isn't it?
It is ego speaking, isn't it?
Yeah. You're perfect, mother.
Yeah, you're already great.
How can I change the flaws? Okay, so I think my idea with the how to the blah blah blah, blah that idea, I think that's a really good idea because so it's like how I got to do that if no one else, me. Oh man, to be honest, my whole operation of information paradise is everyone. Yeah, everyone's a part of it in my evil mind. Ha ha ha. Okay. But yeah, that's just someone asking how can I change defective parts of my personality. I suppose practice expressing the contrary. You know. So if you are selfish and you don't like it, be selfless again and again. And all right.
It is an automated process if you want to ask this question, how to change the defective parts of me. The defective parts will eventually produce suffering. We do not like suffering. And
Yeah.
that is why I say it's an automatic process. Just become aware of the defect and you will find that there is suffering. Now, avoid that tendency, avoid that action. Go towards non-suffering, or go towards happiness instead of choosing suffering, and it will correct itself. You do not need to do much because the defect will produce suffering. Avoid suffering, free yourself from suffering, and the defect will be gone.
So how can I give out good vibes when I feel like shit?
There is no need to give it. Just be what you are. Just be in their company. Whenever they need something, even if you do not have that thing, you just be with them. Just listen to people. That is better than giving them something. uh, it may sound like too bookish, actually. It looks like I'm reading from a book or something, but that is my experience. If you want to help somebody, it can be done without giving them anything. Just be. Let's say you're talking about emotions, but let's say your friend is very poor. Now you don't have any money to give to him, but you be with that state of poverty. You be with your friend through that state. See through it. Do not leave your friend. That is as good as, that is much better than giving money. And similarly for emotions, you are with suppose a sad person. Now you are yourself sad. You are like feel like a trash can. How can you make a person happy? Just be with that person in their sadness. You don't need to give happiness. So even if we think that we do not have anything to give, we have ourselves. We have ourselves to give. What else? What can be bigger than that? You see, give them our attention,
Yes.
them our time, and like say some few words. Even if you cannot, kind of, you sound like a stupid. That is also good. That is also good. People
Okay.
are not asking words of wisdom for you. You see, simply Google stuff and read the books. You get a lot of wisdom. People are asking something else from you. So it is
Yeah.
give yourself to them.
Okay.
like look at the people who gave a lot. For example, Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi. They were totally poor, and I don't think they had anything to give. You see, no wisdom at all, nothing. What did they do? They simply served people. You see, they gave themselves to people. That's why they are kind of bigger than humans.
When we grow up, our mind kind of solidifies, and I'm quite scared of that. So how do I avoid that?
It is a process of aging. Just like the body becomes inflexible as it grows, the mind becomes inflexible as it grows. But fortunately, we have death. The death will clear the mind. The death clears the fossilization of the mind. That is one advantage of dying, actually. You are not stuck in a fossilized mind forever. Now, this will happen naturally, that your mind will start stagnating after some years. We should not see it as a kind of degradation. The mind has become specialized. This is natural tendency of the mind. So it will stop accepting new ideas, for example, or it will stop taking interest in getting new skills or things like that. It will repeat the old, like old broken record, you see. You will find old people doing that a lot. They keep repeating stuff. So we cannot avoid it completely. Death will erase that stagnation. But what you do is, you see, make your activities so wide, like so big in scope, that you always have something different to do, even as you grow up, as you age. If your sphere of activities is bigger, you will not stagnate in one thing. Actually, you will not sound like a broken record. The mind will have more things to do instead of repeating only one thing. But I think, in my opinion, this is the nature of the mind, cannot be really avoided. What you can do is you can become aware that, oh, the mind is doing it now. The mind is now solidifying in one corner, like it is fossilizing itself. So you can become aware of this thing, and then get some knowledge, see how the minds work. It is a temporary stage. It is not totally kind of, you see, hopeless stage, because the death happens and the lower layers are shed and the new mind is created out of the old experiences. So it is like seasons, you see. The trees, they shed their leaves because they become dry and pale. So they need to get rid of those leaves. And then the season comes again. The season changes and new leaves sprout out of that tree. It is very, very natural. So nothing to be afraid of. Nothing, don't lose anything, you see. Simply accept that mind is not you, and it is not also yours. There is no need to own the mind. Look at the trees in your garden. The trees are simply growing. The trees do not own you. The trees do not say that, oh, please adopt me. They are growing. They are going through their natural cycles. You are the one who says, oh, it's my tree. So just give up this identification with the mind, and whatever the mind does, let it do. It is all okay, you see.
Ownership is a activity of the mind, isn't it?
Yes, worrying and thinking and stagnating, these are all states of the mind. They are not you. They disidentify with the states of the mind. Just discriminate that it is not you, and use it as long as it is useful, as long as The purpose of the mind is to provide us with an experience, and it is doing it nicely. So enjoy the experience. It will change. It is not going to remain same. It will not stagnate. Impermanence is the nature of the mind. So it's not going to remain.
When you say provide us with an experience as the purpose of the mind, I do not understand. Could you please
Look at your experience.
Yep. All right.
Is there anything physical in your experience?
Well, let's do the thing again. So, I mean, yeah, this is physical.
How do you know it is physical?
I know it's physical because I can feel it, and it has weight.
Obviously. What is the feeling like?
The feeling.
Is the feeling physical?
The feeling.
Is the touch physical? Is the smell physical? Is the sight and sound physical?
No.
It's all mind. It's all mind. The mind projects a physicality on its own constructed things. It is constructing an experience. Now it categorizes it, for whatever purpose, categorizes it into physical, non-physical, and all. It is all mind. All our thoughts are mind. All our emotions are mind. All the objects are mind. All the people are in your mind. They're not real people. It is all mind. What is mind doing here? It is providing an experience. Imagine an experience without the mind. Now you can try it now. Imagine an experience without the mind.
I don't know if I'm doing it right.
It is pure consciousness. That experience
yes.
would be just consciousness of nothing. Stillness. We call it stillness or peace or emptiness, whatever you want to call it. It's pure. There is no experience there. But there is something. There is knowing that I am. You see? And that is something which is beyond mind, which the mind cannot provide you. This experience of no mind is our true nature. This cannot be provided by the mind. The mind provides you with what you're not. That is all the mind is. It is an experience. It is creating the experiences, you see. So I can give you a metaphor, like mind is like wind and I am like space. So you cannot see the air when it is not blowing. It is not possible to see it. And that is the state of no mind. But it is there. There is a potential of movement in the space, movement of air in the space. So when the wind blows, you can see it now. It produces an experience now, isn't it? So these activities of the mind are being experienced. The modulations of the mind, which is nothing but modulation of the space itself. So you can use this metaphor to see the relation of you, experience, and the mind. The mind is your experience actually. The blowing wind is the still air only, isn't it? The blowing wind is happening in the space. So it is not like mind is different and the experience is different and the mind is now going and taking the experience out of somewhere and giving it to you. No, mind is your experience. All experience is mind.
Let's do that sequence again. It's a very great sequence. So this object here, and also when I'm doing this meditation and the first 10 minutes I assign to focusing on an object. I focus on it, and I find out that I can't actually perform the first step because it is only the second and third steps. So it's only scent perception. And, I was looking at my shoe on my bed this morning. I was just like, focus on the object, not the sight. How can I focus on an object without focusing on the sense perception?
That is a good point. There are no steps. There is only one step. And that step is, consciousness of the experience. There is no other step. You cannot have an object separately. Then you cannot focus separately without involving consciousness. And then there cannot be a consciousness without all these things. There is only one. It is all one. There is only one step. The looking is being. The being is looking.
Well, I have to call off that Instagram post. Ha ha ha. I'm still gonna upload it because it looks pretty. But yeah.
You can divide it in steps. You can assume things like this. Just to bring the mind to this final state of oneness, you can divide the experience into, oh, look, this is the object there. Now look, I'm attending to it. Now look, there is consciousness. You can do that and then merge it back.
It'll be helpful for some people, I'm sure.
Yes. Some people cannot get this directly. So we have, for example, in the Patanjali Yoga, there are steps, like 8 steps to get there. This is very interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Like they will start from the body. You can pay attention, like they will start from the objects also sometimes. You can pay attention to the objects and the body. Then they will ask you to pay attention to this. What is this? It is touch.
Yes.
Giving attention to the whole body is kind of very difficult. So they say, do this, and you will find people doing like this. You see, sit there for hours. What is this? It's called a mudra, and then you pay attention to only touch, the 2 fingers touching. Look at the nature of this touch. Isn't it mind? Isn't it consciousness? That makes you progress. Then you jump a little bit more inside. Now you pay attention to the breathing. Breathing is closer to you than touching. Obviously, you're touching your hand. It is somewhere out there. We imagine things. So pay attention to breathing. It is more close here. It is here. Now you will find people sitting there with eyes closed, breathing. What are they doing? They are bringing their consciousness. They are turning inwards. Now, once you master the breathing, jump into the mind. Get image of a, let's say, flame, image of a flower, image of a deity or your guru, or just sphere of light, pulsating light. Imagine it, and imagine that it is in your forehead, because where else can it be? You see, this is our ignorance. So we just leverage the ignorance to get past it. So imagine it is in your head. Now you pay attention to that. And then you just slip into the object and subject duality, merge, then that will be merged into one. So you reach the consciousness which we think is within through these steps, actually. Sometimes it is useful. But on the path of knowledge, we do it directly, like it takes 10 seconds. Just like I did it with you, I told you to imagine an experience without the mind. Now you know. Now you know. Now you don't need to go through the 8 steps.
So that's exercise there that you just said then. That is an exercise to explain that all experience is mind, right? Is that right?
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
That's cool.
All experience is mind. What is mind then? Just like I gave you the metaphor of the wind and the space. When there is no activity of the mind, what remains? Only the space is invisible mind. That is my real nature. Nature without activity. That is why the Patanjali will say, stopping of the activity of the mind is yoga. And people, how to stop the mind? How to just look, just look. You are the activity, you are witnessing the activity of the mind. The space is always there. The space is always stationary. It is always silent. That is your real nature. When the activity stops, this real nature like comes forward a little bit. When the activity starts, it does not disappear. It is still there. What are you trying to do there? For hours and hours and hours, you're trying to stop the mind. Why don't you see that it is just the air in motion? It is consciousness in motion.
I think a really good thing for both of our websites and for anyone else who's doing something like this is to add a widget which has all sorts of boxes, and then it is entitled exercises. One box has all experience is mind, whatever. You click on the box, you got a load of just really easy, simple, things like what you just said.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Actually, I've written them down. Them down.
Wow.
Plus, if you go to my blog, you will find a series of articles that start with like introspection. They start with this word introspection. So if you want to adapt them into your like practices, like you said, I want to put them on my website. Those introspections are going to help a lot.
Okay.
So all these exercises that I have done myself, they are very, very effective actually. They are very effective. For example, you want to see the illusion of bondage. You want to see this illusion that you are bound, you are a form, you are small thing. You want to get rid of this illusion. And there is an introspection which will take you step by step sometimes to this realization that I am boundless. Now, I don't want to do it right now here, you see. So these exercises are already written on my blog.
Okay.
Just adapt it to your audience. Like some people may not like that kind of directness, and they get confused. So you need to like make it more gentle.
Yeah.
Make it your own.
I think what I want to go for is beautiful simplicity.
Yeah,
I love brevity of speech.
yeah, absolutely.
Even down to the syllable, because I could have said talking, but brevity of speech. In the same way that Steve Jobs designed this device here. Beautiful simplicity.
If you cut down the fluff, then the message becomes really clear.
Yes. Clarity.
Sometimes I explain it in one paragraph, and then I write a sentence that those who get it should stop reading here. There is nothing below. Those who don't get it, start reading, you see. Because I produce 2 versions of the same thing. One is very, very short to the point, and then I produce another version which takes you slowly with a lot of fluff. It gives the mind time to adapt and adjust because it's like a shock, isn't it? It's like brick falling on your head. Uh,
Yeah.
like do this to a person who thinks that the world is made up of physical things, and do this to a person who has this kind of strong belief, and it is like a shock. Oh, I always thought the world is physical.
So what do people actually think physical things are? Is it because it is based on the belief that I am separate, right?
Yes.
So I don't understand. Like, what do I believe? There's a part of my mind, I think, or however I want to phrase it, I don't really know, that believes this is a physical object, that is apart from me. What do I like?
You are asking why do you believe that? You
No,
are asking.
what? So, I suppose what an object means to a person who believes that they're separate. I suppose that the entire world is an object. You know,
It's a collection of objects, yes.
and there's only one subject.
Let me tell you what it means to them. It means nothing to them. Nobody really knows what these objects are. They simply assume that they know what these things are.
Okay.
You can interrogate people. Like, what is this? Tell me what is this? Nobody knows. You can interview the greatest scientist in the world. They don't know what is this. It cannot be
If we,
known as a separate thing, you see.
yeah, because if I say, here is, I go, hey person, what is this? And they'll look at me like, it's a pencil, it's a pen, and then I'd be like, okay, I would get them to realize that it's in their mind, right? And yeah, crazy.
You should not use their mind. You should not use this word my mind. Use the word mind only. It is the mind, not my mind.
Okay.
The word my is now imposed by the ego on it. It wants to own this process. It is not mine. And the my word will separate you from the rest. Oh, it is my mind. That means your mind is also doing it. No, it is just one mind. It's oneness.
I like to use the word one. It's like one eats food, one blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
much better. Or sometimes we use the word we.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, good thing.
Has there been any insights for you recently that have been particularly interesting?
Let me think.
Okay.
There are many. There are many insights. So, like the latest thing that I came to realize what was our pursuit of liberation is fruitless.
Yeah.
That which is bound will remain bound. That which is free will remain free. The whole tendency to liberate myself is based on this ignorance that I am the bound.
Yes.
So initially, I knew this thing actually. Like I said, I wrote the introspection also, and but there was still a will to like liberate that thing which is bound, liberate the causal body. You see, or stuff like that. And now I think I'm not going to do that. It is kind of impossible. It is good as it is. It is perfect as it is. It is bound for a reason. It has taken on this bondage limitation just to produce a particular kind of experience. Who wants this experience? I want this experience, you see. That's why I appear as bounded objects, like the causal bodies or the human body or the other subtle bodies. Without them, there is no experience. No experience is possible. And that is my bigger tendency. To experience is a bigger tendency than to liberate. Now, you can say that this is a personal opinion, but this is a bigger realization that we are fighting a force when we are trying to liberate the mind. We are fighting a force that is so big, there is no chance of winning.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's a great insight, I think.
Yes, it is. When I've seen a trend in my insights, that it is always a kind of letting go. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to know this, I want to know that, and then it is letting go. Oh, you already know it. You're already doing it. There is nothing can be done in a better way. It is always a letting go of stuff when the insights come.
Yeah. And then the question is, how do I let go? Which is a really weird question.
You realize the futility of your effort. That is all.
All right. That's it. That is it.
That will stop you.
That's good. Brevity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's. What is the purpose of Shiva linga? I don't know this. What is that?
It is a structure which people worship. It is like a cylindrical thing made up of stone. It comes in many sizes, from this size to like 100 feet high, and there is a surrounding structure to it, and it is called a Shivlingam, which means the seed of the Shiv. Now, some people will translate the lingam as meaning the reproductive organ. So it is shaped like the reproductive organ. See, there is a bottom female part and there is a top male part. What is it showing? That is what the question is about. What was the question? What is the purpose? Or what is
Yes. What is the purpose?
purpose? You see, first you know what is it. It is a symbol. It is a symbolic device. Actually, it is a tantric device. It is a, you can say, a machine kind of thing where the mind is involved. It is not a mechanical machine. So it is a device that was used to control the creation and destruction. That can sound like, far-fetched, like a fairy tale. But people got so evolved in the past that they could manage such kind of things. So the Shivlingam was a device to control the creation and destruction of the universes. And that was the purpose then. That was the purpose, to take control of the whole force that kind of governs the creation and destruction. Then it got into hands of the tantrics, actually, who wanted to use it for desire fulfillment, like because you can control the whole fabric of the mind using this device. You can use it to fulfill your desires. They can be big desires, they can be petty desires. So they got hold of it, and then they kind of truncated this device just to operate with their own mind. And it fulfilled their desires. And then it degraded even more. People started worshipping it. Like they saw there is a lot of power in it, and they started worshipping in it. Now it degraded into something even lower. Now it has become only a symbol, like a stone or a metal thing, which people superstitiously like worship and chant the mantras and all, hoping that something will happen. Nothing really happens. It is
How?
total lost art now. Totally lost. The technology is lost.
So I'm looking at this, and it's just like an object, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. This is the lingam or
How,
shivlingam.
so how they use it?
And frankly, I don't know. Actually, I used to know some people who claim that they can use it. They can use it to do anything. So they are tantric kind of people, the occult kind of people, who are after powers. And on the path of knowledge, we are not after powers really. So I lost interest. I said, oh, you can change stuff, you can change the mind, you can change the creation. Very good. But look at the creation. It is not already there. It is already an illusion, and it is created by you only. Who else is creating it? And
That's
then we
another.
rise now all these, technology things, all this occult stuff, and that is your gateway into proper spirituality. And stop messing with the creation, you see. There is nothing important here.
That's another topic I'd like to talk about is interesting conversations that you've had with people, spiritual people. What kind of what?
I rarely had, good direct conversations with great people. I did not get the chance. So all that I had was their books, their videos, and writings, articles, and all. And the rest that comes, that is the most interesting, is coming from the guru field, just like I said. It's coming from the guides. That is what I share with everybody. That's all. You see, that is what I find is most interesting. Conversations with people, sometimes, yes, they are very interesting, but yes, there are some insights that I gain by talking to gurus and all, but it is not anything which you don't already know. Nothing big.
How?
You see, guru will not tell you anything. That is the kind of my perception of a guru. The guru tells you nothing. The guru is not here to entertain you. The guru tells you that which you already know, which you had forgotten. The guru uncovers. Is not going to give you anything new. It is always like, like this. Oh, I already knew this. Thank you for telling me. The conversation is already always like this.
So when we supposedly knew all of this, we would have been toddlers, or when? How old? We would have been children, right? But
No, it is even beyond that. Our essential nature is total knowledge. It is even beyond human births. We know it since like very ancient times, eternity. And you must be wondering how come these gurus get this knowledge? From where are they getting this knowledge? Who was the first guru? And the answer is very simple. The knowledge is always here. The forgetting is new. Ignorance is new. The knowledge is old. You see, we are rediscovering the old, which we kind of forgot because of our adventures into the Maya, adventures into the illusion. The knowledge comes back as a knowing which is already here. If you know something new, then you are receding into the illusion. Once you know something old, you are withdrawing from the illusion.
All right.
Probably it is too difficult to understand right now.
Yes.
Let it be for a while. Let it be like a seed. The seed will grow. You will know it through your own experience.
Oh. Okay. So there's a question that is, what is an experience? And the answer that came into my mind, or into mind, is it is just experience, but that is imagined to be partitioned, you know? What do you think about that?
Exactly. I don't even need to add anything to what you said. There is no
Right.
such experience. You see,
No.
it is an artificial division that is made in the oneness, the experience and the experiencer. This is a division that the mind makes for its convenience, for probably some other reason. There is no experience. There is only experiencing. Right now, we do not have an experience out there, and there is only experiencing. So it is an assumption. It is our ignorance to say that, well, there is an experience. There is no experience.
Okay. Coming up to the 2 hour mark here. I think we'll end it here.
I think it's then a good time to end now.
Yes.
I'm repeating now.
Yes. That happens, doesn't it? But yeah. Think about that. But yeah, thank you very much, Tarun, for joining us again.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you in our next discussion. Have a nice week.